Hello, my name is Braden Monk. I'm at the Carolina Hurricanes versus Vancouver Canucks game, and you're watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. A couple people asked me last night, filming this on a Sunday, I'm not sure when you're going to see it, but a couple of people asked me last night what I thought of the Tuukka Rask injury. And I wasn't watching the game live when it happened, so I had to watch the replay. And we haven't really discussed this yet, but I don't think the severity of the concussion has been released yet by Boston, but they did announce that I think there was a concussion. So if you haven't seen the play, Cheadle ran over Tuukka Rask, kind of hit him in the head with his butt as he went in, scored on the play. It counted. We can't show it, unfortunately, due to copyright, so go to YouTube and search it if you haven't seen it. What did you think of this play?
I saw the replay last night we couldn't get that game. It wasn't on any of our channels, but one of the other channels we were watching did a recap from around the league and showed that play. So I saw it not too long after it happened, but then I saw the more slow motion version this morning. Heedle, apparently you don't pronounce the C.
Oh.
They call him Heedle, was going in, made a beautiful play and a beautiful goal, and a split second later, McAvoy runs into him, and he bounces off McAvoy right into Rask. And I think had it not been for McAvoy hitting him, he would have skated maybe a little bit through the crease, but he wouldn't have made contact.
No, he might have brushed him, but I don't think he would have made contact. I think you're right there. I don't think any of the blame was on Tuukka Rask. It wasn't like...
Oh, no. He was still in the blue paint.
Like he wasn't in a stupid place of the ice outside of his crease where he shouldn't have been.
He wasn't out there trying to poke check or anything like that.
Exactly.
He was set.
Yeah, so it's not Tuukka Rask's fault.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's Heedle's fault. I think he made the effort to avoid Rask. If McAvoy wasn't there, like you said, I think he would have just gone by in front of him. I think all the blame, I think 100% of the blame is on Charlie McAvoy in this specific play. We even saw the Boston announcers, at the beginning they were completely blaming Heedle for this, but at the end of it, once they saw the replay, they started to actually blame McAvoy a little bit.
It was something to watch. Jack Edwards was making the call at the time for Nesson, and Andy Brickley, who's the color commentator, he says probably 5 seconds after it, do you think this is going to count?
Yeah.
In other words, there was so much goaltender interference there that there's no way this is going to count. He didn't say that, but that's where he was headed. And like you say, after they saw the replay, probably about a minute later, Edwards comes on and says, I think this is going to count.
Yeah.
That's their way of saying no fault on Heedle.
Exactly.
And I think this is going to count. Either way, it would be an interesting exercise. The goal had gone in first. Let's say Heedle did run into Rask, but the goal went across the goal line before any of that happened. If there was, I think the goal counts, and maybe there's a penalty on Heedle on the play.
You mean if the goal goes in after the contact happens?
No, before. If the goal goes in before the contact happens,
which happened,
right? Yeah, exactly. But then the contact happens, and it's Heedle's fault.
Oh, okay.
Would it be a goal and then a penalty on Heedle, or I can't imagine they would call the goal back because the goal is across the line, clean and legal before anything else happens.
No, I think you're right there. I think you'd have to call a goal because it goes in prior to anything that happens, and I think then you have to call a penalty which is weird, but
it is weird. But I think that's the only way you can handle it because sometimes you might have, for instance, you could have a goal scorer go down to the opposing bench and give them a nasty sign or something and then get called for unsportsmanlike and head to the penalty box after the goal is scored.
Exactly.
So,
hey, there's penalties handled out after the whistle all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like the play needs to be active for penalties to be handled
precisely.
out. So,
yeah,
I think you're right there.
And I think McAvoy himself was hurt a little bit on the play. He seemed to recover fine, and he was actually helping Rask up, and I think he probably knew right then and there that he's at least partly responsible for what's happened to Rask. The play's happening so fast, and you don't see everything around you. So I'm not saying McAvoy did anything intentionally wrong, but it was his hit on Heedle that caused Rask to be injured. But when it happened, McAvoy was bent over trying to catch his own breath for a while.
Like holding his face a little bit.
Yeah, because he hit Heedle pretty hard, and Heedle hit Rask pretty hard.
Yeah.
But he was so far up in the air.
It was a weird hit. Like
he hit him with his hip, really.
Yeah, his butt.
That's what Rask got, in in the side of the head. So I hope he's all right.
Oh, definitely.
Because he's been playing really well.
It looked pretty serious. Now,
It did.
The question I have is, can Halak come in and keep Boston competitive in the playoff race? In my personal opinion, the answer is obvious because this year so far, Halak's been the better goalie than Rask. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, they kind of lost their backup, not their starter. So, some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. But how do you feel about that?
I feel the same way. Halak has shown, going back years, that when he's asked to step up, he can step up and play the leadership role in the crease. He's actually had very good games this year when he's been the goalie. So Boston is in better shape than a lot of teams.
Yes, they are.
If they lose one goalie, if you've got Halak as your plan B, and you say might even be the plan A lately, you're still in good shape.
Very good shape, yeah. So all the best to Tuukka Rask. Hopefully he gets better soon. I hate to see, as Canadians fans, both of us, always good to see Boston drop down the standings, but obviously not when the cause of that is a massive concussion to one of their players. You never want to see anyone go through a concussion. It's serious business. So,
and it does last a long time. We've seen a lot more exposure in the last couple of years, and even in the last few weeks, about how concussions can end careers. Prematurely. And Boston ended up losing that game. I don't know exactly where the hit and the goal was positioned in the overall momentum of the game, but Boston lost last night, and to a team that really is not nearly as good as they are on most days.
I agree, yeah.
So I just wonder if that had... I think it was somewhere in the second period when it happened. You've got Rask coming out, and you've got Halak going in cold.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the game had any momentum change after that or not. But,
yeah, good point. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Leave your comments down below in the comments section. We read them all. So thank you for watching. And subscribe if you're not. And we'll see you in the next video. Adios.